Hi friends! In this tutorial, we're going to learn how you can create an animation on scroll using just CSS. That's something that you could only do with JavaScript for a long time, but now it's possible with CSS, which is very exciting. And there are so many possibilities for this, but I thought that for this tutorial, we're going to make something simple like a progress bar on scroll. This is something that I've seen on multiple websites, and personally, I always enjoy it. And I think these progress bars make the reading experience very satisfying in ways that looking at just a regular scroll bar doesn't. Anyway, I'm going to get started in this blank file. So currently what I have here is just the article. And if we look at our HTML, it just has the article. And then inside our CSS, I have the two colors that I'll want to use for my progress bar. And then I have some things for the body, H1, and the article, and that's it. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create the HTML for our progress bar. It's going to have two parts to it. The first one is going to be the overall progress bar container with like a gray fill. And then inside it, we're going to have the filled part, so the part that will actually be animated. And that's going to be the green color. Now we're going to add some styles to our overall progress bar container. So I'm going to go into the CSS section and do progress bar container. Let's give it a height of 12 pixels and width for now we'll do 100%. Then for the background color, we're going to use the light gray color, which I saved right here. And it should appear down below. So you can see this very faint gray line. That's our progress bar. And the reason it's currently at the bottom and not fixed at the top is because we didn't add position fixed. So let's add that. And then we also need to tell it that we want it to be 12 pixels from the top. Now when I scroll, you can see that the article is scrolling, but then our progress bar is fixed up at the top. The next thing, we're going to add some styles to our filled part of the progress bar. Let's do progress bar filled. For this one, we want to have 100% of the height, which will be 12 pixels. The width, we also wanted to take 100%. And then the background color is going to be green. So you can see now it just appears on top of the light gray color of the overall container. With this bright color, it's easier to see a couple other tweaks that we may want to add to this progress bar. So the first thing is we can make the corners more rounded. So let's add border radius 4 pixels. And then we'd also want to apply this to the overall container. Now you can also see that the progress bar is currently too wide. So I'm going to change the width to maybe 98%, but now it's not exactly centered. And so to center it, we're first going to shift it left 50%. And it calculated that based on the left edge of the progress bar. So that's why it's like spilling outside of the viewport. The next thing that we'll need to do is that we want to translate the progress bar itself back 50%. And it's going to do that calculation not based on the width of the viewport, but rather on the size of the progress bar. What we're going to do is to transform, translate X, because we're only moving this in one direction horizontally. And we'll do 50% left. And now you can see that our progress bar is right in the center. So if you change the width to like 90, you can see that it becomes more obvious. But if we didn't have this two, it would just be all the way to the left. Let's change this back to 98. The next thing that we need to do is our actual animation. So here at the bottom, we're going to do keyframes. And you can call this animation whatever you want. I'll just do fill. And then we're going to set the initial state to have the width 0 pixels. And then to width 100%. And now what we need to do is apply this animation to our progress bar. So let's do animation name fill. Again, nothing happens because in addition to specifying the animation name, we also need to give a couple more parameters, like how this animation is going to take place. And typically it's done by giving duration. So animation duration, let's do like 1 second. So now you can see the animation is happening, but this is not what we want in this case. We want the animation to happen as you scroll. So for that, what we're going to do is do animation timeline and then scroll and root. And so now you can see when I'm at the top of the article, I just get this gray background fill. And then as I start scrolling, it changes to green. And once I reach the end of the article, it's fully green. And that's really it, which is why I absolutely love this and all the possibilities that this one line of code brings. I think it's so simple and elegant, and I know we made a very simple animation, but you can really get elaborate with this. I hope that you found this tutorial useful and that it will inspire you to create something fun and slick. I will link this file in the description of this video so you can inspect this file. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye.